Guys, if you sell online, you can attest to the fact that these platforms that you sell on, it could be on eBay, it could be on Amazon, it could be on, whatnot, Facebook, Vinted, doesn't matter the platform you sell on. These platforms have literally what I call floodgates, and it's almost like whenever the floodgates are opened, you will begin to receive, sales from nowhere. And you'll be asking yourself sometimes, this item I have had in my shop for so long, I never ever know when this item didn't sell. And from nowhere, things are just beginning to sell like wildfire, literally. You just wake up one day and you see that items that you have had for a very long time, you never ever thought they would ever sell. From nowhere, this item just begin to sell. If it was just one item, you say, okay, this is just a fluke. Perhaps it's just the algorithm just kind of shine its light on my shop. But the thing is, you begin to receive sales from right, left, and center. Different items begin to sell. This is what happens when a marketplace where you sell on literally opens the floodgates for you, Guys, just this week, Monday, to put it in context, today is Thursday, I'm just trying to check the date, the 16th of January 2025. eBay literally opened the floodgate to my shop since Monday, And when this happened, guys, I have been balling. Sales have been coming in like no other, So because of that, it was a very, very busy week from Monday. I mean, it was very hard to combine making videos with checking out others, but I did try my best to actually, do what I have to do, which is to make content, nevertheless. Because this year, I have finally decided to prioritize content making because it is what it is. If you want to play this game of making money online, it doesn't matter if it's reselling, whatever it is, you have to be seen doing everything, like searching everything that's going to make it possible. Because gone are the days where you want to pitch your tent to a platform, you want to say, okay, I'm an eBay seller, and that's it. If TikTok is doing something, I'm not going to be part of it. If Facebook is doing something, I don't want to be part of it. If YouTube is doing something, I don't want to be part of it. But from what we can see right now, we have already understood the game. And I have said to myself, this year, we are going to play this game. No matter how hard it may seem, we're going to develop systems, processes to make sure that, look, this game is played the way it should be played. And the way it's going to be played is that, look, I'm going to make content, even inside of my busy schedule. I'm going to make content first to share my experience, share what I've learned with you guys, give an insight, a tip or two that may go a very long way to helping somebody. Sometimes, the video might just be a whole long video, but at some point, you are able to get a golden nugget that will just light up a fire in you. It has happened to me not once, not twice, so many times. And this is one reason why I just enjoy watching YouTube videos, because you may never tell at what point you're going to catch a nugget, like a golden nugget, that's just going to light up, something, some ideas, some inspiration. And this is the reason why I just keep watching, even though when I'm working, I want to always look for a podcast, a YouTube video where I can actually just put on in the background, let it roll, because I understand that, yes, at some point, someone's going to say something, someone's going to make a comment, someone is just going to, throw out some idea that if you know what you are doing, you can actually take that idea and run with it, all right? So back to what I was saying, eBay opened the floodgates, and I took advantage of this floodgate because these platforms, you never can tell when the floodgates are going to be opened. Sometimes it could be once every month. It could be once every week. It could be twice every week. Whenever the floodgates are opened, one thing you want to do, you want to take advantage of it as much as you can. This was exactly what I did. I took advantage of the fact that eBay was actually selling. Sorry, this is not the right cable. This is supposed to be for this. I hope I don't mix it up. This is for this. All right. Took advantage of the fact that eBay was selling, and I did do a lot of listings, because if eBay has had to make sales happen on your shop, one beautiful thing you can actually do is whenever you notice that the sales are just going through, like items are selling like no other, this is a good time to also begin to list items, because it might just be that the algorithm is just kind of making your shop very visible, and it makes no sense to be getting all the traffic, to be getting all the impressions, and you are not able to convert them. So when I woke up on Monday, I saw that things were going on, like sales were coming through. I said to myself, I am going to run with this. The last week of Christmas, which is last year, was kind of tricky. My shop was closed, but from nowhere, I still did receive some returns. I did make videos of some of the returns. Some of the returns were very, very brutal. Talking about a 400 euro laptop, 256 euro computer, 300. It was just coming in and kind of made me kind of disappointed, but I still did go ahead to make a video that I was grateful. Wasn't the best way to have ended the year, ended the year with so much returns. But then, when this year started, I said to myself, definitely going to change one or two strategies and see how I can make things better. So luckily for me, eBay opened the floodgates. Guys, I ran with it. I listed a lot of items. I ended old listings, kind of refreshed my shop because it was holiday. I had a lot of time to do this. One thing you might want to do once in a while is whenever you have items sitting on your shop and it's not selling, after a while, just go ahead and end the listing and try to relist it, because when you relist it, you never can tell. See, this algorithm, at the end of the day, nobody really understands how it works. We are all making guesses here, and sometimes some of our guesses kind of end up to be true. But the problem with the algorithm is that it's always going through series of updates. So something that was true last month might not necessarily be true, in the next month. This is the problem. That's why there is no one protocol, one meta for the algorithm. If there was, people would have taken advantage of it to monopolize, the eBay search or wherever it is, whatever platform you sell on. People would take this protocol and use it to list items, and the items will remain, in the first or second position in the search page. It doesn't happen like that. So you all just have to wait and hope that by doing these little things, you can actually endear the algorithm to yourself, all right? So I listed a lot of stuff, ended some old listings. When you end listings and release them again, you have a way of just bumping it up the search page, and you never can tell. This actually brought in a lot of sales, which kind of made me very, very busy. Excited about it because it's always better to be found doing something. You think it's better the other way around, which is you are not busy, you are not stressed, just give it a try, and I bet you in a matter of days, you're going to come around and say, no, I think I do prefer when I'm busy. Because when you are busy, you don't have time to be engaged in, crazy thoughts, ideas that will not just make you a better person. When you are busy, you only have time for productive stuff. You do not have time to engage in no-sense arguments. You are thinking of your next move. You are thinking of how you can actually make things happen. So the fact that I was busy, kind of grateful about it, and I did do a lot of stuff. These are just some of the last orders that I'm sending out today, and tomorrow I still got quite a lot to ship out. Hopefully I'll be able to do everything before Saturday, and then have a little bit of free time to actually, come back to real video making. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor. Go ahead and be subscribed so that whenever I begin to drop, content, like real content, you'll be able to take advantage of this, and then one or two things, at least you receive a notification instead of the content just going unnoticed, all right? So I was listing a lot, and like I was saying, if you have the opportunity now to enjoy some sales on your shop, you have to take advantage of it. This is the reason why it makes a lot of sense if you can actually be prepared, have some items ready to go, have some listings on your drafts ready to go, so that if you notice that at one point or the other, things are already beginning to take shape, things are happening, which is sales are going through, you want to begin to push your listings so that as soon as the algorithm sees that, yes, we are giving this shop a lot of traffic and this shop is taking very good advantage of it, the algorithm being what it is actually very easy to trick the algorithm, trick the algorithm to think that your shop is a shop that is very, very active. As a matter of fact, you should actually be active if you have committed to, making money online. It is not going to be like you list an item today and then you go and take a break. If you have said to yourself, I want to make money online, I want to make a living selling stuff on the internet, of course you have to be active. It's not going to come easy. What you are trying to achieve is something that's very, very difficult. Not everybody can actually pull it off, to make money on the internet. So if you want to make it happen, you have to be seen to be very, very busy. It's not going to come easy. It's not going to come just like that on a platter of gold. Be busy. List items, so that whenever the floodgates of the platform you sell on gets opened, you'll be able to actually take advantage of this. Times like this, from my experience, they do not last forever. Like I said, it could just be like a week. It could be like once in a week. It could be like twice a week. But at the end of the day, understand that these platforms, they know that this is the best way to go. Not to give one seller an unlimited number of traffic, because if that were to be the case, then there's going to be a monopoly situation, which the platforms themselves, they do not also want to happen. They're also very careful to avoid somebody hijacking their platform. So they are going to definitely rotate traffic at some point amongst, all serious sellers. And the underlying word there is serious seller. You have to be a serious seller to actually be able to participate in this thing that the platform does, which is platform to ultimately give traffic to serious sellers, and you have to position yourself as to be able to take advantage of it whenever the time comes. So I did send out computers, desktop PCs, mini PCs, sent out laptops, complete computers. The list goes on and on and on. And that got me thinking, which is selling a good category, in case you are watching my video for the first time, a good category in my definition is a category in which you sell items that people want, A good category is not seasonal. A good category has items that people want to have all year round. So in this way, you can actually guarantee yourself sales all year round. The worst thing that can happen to you if you have an eBay business is to be making sales just at some certain time of the year. Yes, some people are able to pull this off, but that's not just me. And I really honestly think that this is not a model that you can actually use to have a sustainable income, If your items tend to sell only once in a year, which is sell at some certain time of the year, let's say in December, or let's say in summer, and then at the other times of the year, you're not just making sales, I really do think that, at least for me, this is not the kind of model I want to run. I want to be able to have a business that does a lot of volume every given month. Of course, it might necessarily not be like you make sales every week, but at the end of the month, you should be able to say, yes, I made a substantial amount of sales. And with this, you are able to actually, do some kind of planning. You can make some plans. You can take some credit if you want to, because you know that there's going to be some cash inflow, An unpredictable category is a category where nobody really wants the item, or people just want the item that you sell at some certain time of the year. And I keep seeing some shops that are set up like this. They are just set up to sell in a category where the whole items you have in your shop are highly, highly seasonal. And another character of a good category, in my definition, is a category where you can actually use a lot of tactics, to get items coming into your shop. There are some categories you naturally have to go out and look for the items. It's going to be very hard for you to pull off the items just coming to you. You always have to be on the road. Either you have to keep driving, because the kind of items that you just sell on your shop, they are not items that you can literally get online, or you can actually, have a distributor for. They're just items that you naturally have to always go out and pick them. I also do think that this is not a sustainable model, because at some point you are going to grow tired of just driving around, and sometimes the profit margin on these items might not even be so big as to warrant the wear and tear that you put on your car. So you have to be seen doing what has been proven to work. And what has been proven to work is that, first of all, you have to be active. And what has proven to work is that, first of all, you have to be active. Whatever platforms you sell on, you have to be active listing items. You have to be active observing the trend, checking out your competitor, or checking out rather the competition to see what people are doing, and your ability to replicate what is or what has proven to work. That is being busy, and then striving hard to sell in a category that is considered a good category, so that whenever the algorithm suddenly decides to bless sellers with traffic, you will be part of the people that will take advantage of this traffic and actually, run with it, which was exactly what I did. So, guys, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube. People also complain that sales have been pretty much down. Yes, like I said in the beginning of the video, do not give up. Understand that at some point, eBay or the platform on which you sell on is going to open these floodgates, and you'll be able to run in and just make sales. See, this is how we make mistakes. I just took this cable now and threw it in without taking a look at it. This has happened so many times before. This is the wrong cable, and luckily for me, I was able to just sight it, and it was not too late, because if I had closed this box and the packet is already gone, then that would have been bad. This is the right cable that goes with this. Just have to put this here and put this here. This is one thing I also said to myself this year. I'm going to try to eliminate, if it's actually possible. I'm going to try to, reduce definitely as much as possible the incidences of me just making mistakes, occasioned by not checking things, double checking things before actually closing this box. The best thing to do is that if you have like a major shipping like this, always make sure before you finally go ahead to close the box, make sure you have checked to be sure that everything that you actually want to ship out is in. Right now, I have the computer in, I have the cable. I still have to put the invoice here, and then I will be ready to actually close this box. It's kind of expected, because when I'm shipping stuff and at the same time I'm kind of making a video, it's very possible for me to just overlook certain things and then go ahead and close the box. But then it's not going to be business as usual. We're going to try to do things a little bit differently, just to make sure that these mistakes that are occasioned by shipping the wrong item, shipping items not completely, we're going to eliminate it as much as possible. There's nothing as kind of annoying as you do a lot of work. So make sure a customer gets an item in very good condition, and then at the end of the day, the customer is going to write you, instead of saying thank you for the item you sent, the buyer is going to say thank you for the item, but I received the wrong item, or what you sent was incomplete, and then just have to start all over again. I hate this, and this was kind of the characteristics of a lot of things I shipped out last year, and sometimes there were some really grave mistakes. And when I talk about grave mistakes, I mean shipping out the wrong item, entirely the wrong item, and then the receiver received the wrong item and refuses to send it back to you, or sent it back and the item just comes in a very bad condition. This was a major loss, and it did happen to me not once, not twice last year. And this year, we're just going to make sure that we are on top of this game, just to eliminate as much as possible the incidence of wrong shipment. All right. So, guys, like I was saying, you have to be found busy. The platform you sell on is going to definitely bless you with traffic at some point. And when that happens, this might just be your chance. Take advantage of it. But before you're able to pull this off, definitely you have to have been learning, have to have been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and you have to have been seen doing these things yourself. Reselling cannot be learned just by reading some book. Cannot be learned by just you going to, to some seminar or some conference or some one-on-one session. Reselling is an active sport. Permit me to use that word. It's something you do to actually do it yourself, You're going to make a lot of mistakes, yes. But the beautiful thing is that the mistakes that you made actually makes you to be that better reseller that whenever you see some resellers, somebody might take a look at me now and say, Hardwareflipper is kind of killing it. Yes. He's doing a lot of volume, selling stuff. Yes. It took me years to actually get to this point I am now. It took me a lot of, making a lot of mistakes, testing out a lot of stuff. A lot didn't work. A lot worked. And at the end of the day, I just picked the ones that worked, stayed with it, and put it on rinse and repeat mode, and kept doing it over and over and over and again, And the more you do it, the more you just develop the thick skins. There was a time where returns were kind of very terrible for me. When I received them, I was always very sad, was angry. But then, gradually, I started figuring out, first of all, the reasons for the returns. And as soon as you identify the reasons for the returns, you try to just improve on it, make sure things are better next time. And in this way, I was just able to develop a lot of skills, build a lot of relationships. Some work, some didn't work, some disappointed, some made me lose a lot of money. Some promise to send you good items, and then at the end of the day, you receive items. The items are all looking very terrible. You can't really sell them as grade B. You can't even sell them as grade C because they do not work perfectly. And in this case, you have lost money. You cannot try to ship back items because when you consider the money you spend shipping the item first to your address, and then you want to start spending money again, shipping it back, shipping a whole pallet back, and it was just a mess. But then, like I said, the mistakes that you make actually make you a better reseller because you learn the things that work, you learn the things you need to avoid, and the more you do it over and over and again, you are just setting up yourself for success. I felt like I should use the kind of format this time around just to see what sticks. We are still trying to test a lot of things. Video making is kind of a new addition to the already very tight process that I have. But then, like I said, we are going to prioritize video, and doesn't matter how it goes. Of course, whatever I'm going to say in the video is going to actually give value to you, going to help you one way or the other. Of course, there's going to be time where I'm going to come here and just only talk to you. My packing items and talking to you also has a way of just teaching you something that might be helpful for you, in the future. I'm not going to come here and act like I'm a guru. As a matter of fact, I am still learning to figure things out. Sometimes when I see some situations on eBay, I begin to ask myself, but I thought I had already figured this out. I thought I had already gone through this, but then it is what it is. We always are in this constant cycle of learning because the moment you want to say, I'm not going to learn anything anymore, you are actually just setting yourself up for failure. Things change per second on this platform that we sell on. It doesn't matter if it's eBay, if it's on Facebook, things change every time, and your ability to always be ahead of this change, the better it's going to be for you. If you're not subscribed to the channel, like I said, please go ahead and be subscribed. In the next video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about why your listing template actually plays a very major, role in actually helping you to make sales on the eBay platform. Until I see you again in the next video, peace.